overview on some of your fundamental kicks, knees, your setups and your defense from the kicks. From martial arts, from an MMA perspective, again, they can all be used in karate, taekwondo, K1, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and again, you adapt to the rule set that you're competing under. But I'm going to give you, as I said, for over the next 10 minutes, a brief overview of a lot of the fundamental kicks that we do in our martial arts, alright? So, we're going to start with your basic roundhouse kick. Again, you can throw it to the leg, body, or head, and again, different martial arts will teach it differently. As far as like in the common Muay Thai stance, the step across the centre line. You see a lot in taekwondo and stuff where they don't step at all. That lead leg, it's just a straight pivot. So again, you're not telegraphing it with the step. So we're going to look at both of them, and again, it's good to have a big variety of different ways of throwing the same shot. And again, to just keep yourself as unpredictable as possible. So I'll just change you over here because I'm going to go from the orthodox stance. So we'll go orthodox, arms reach away from your opponent, always in your fight stance. So some of these kicks, again, you can drill them at home, shadow boxing. If you have access to a bag or a partner to drill with you can do it without shin pads, nice and safe, going through the motions, alright? So from every time you throw any of the shots that we do in this video, back, arm out of range in a good strong fight stance. Legs wide, toes pointing towards your opponent, knees bent, hands up, and just good balance. Every single time you throw any shot back in your fight stance, alright? So, with the outside roundhouse kick, I'm trying to look, the sweet spot that I want to land with my leg is around there. So the shin bone, the back of the leg, but ideally the lower part there, just above the ankle, up to about your mid-shin. You connect them there with the kick on anywhere in the lower or upper calf, and on the quad, on the rib cage, and obviously the head, okay? So, I don't want to be coming up to me like this, when my head's coming down kind of like a soccer kick. I want to extend my hip, the kicking hip right through the shot, yeah? So we look at the front leg first, where I don't step. I'm just going to pivot. So I'm on the ball of my foot, my heels off the ground, and pushing off that back foot, turning my hip into the shot, pivoting on the front foot, where I'm going to boom, turn, and I'm back in my stance. Again, I can low kick, back in my stance. I can go head kick, back in my stance. So that's without stepping with the front leg, yeah? Now I can step with the front leg, where I'm stepping across the midline, like this, turning my toes in towards the direction of where I'm kicking, and I'm not just trying to touch and come back, I'm trying to kick through my opponent, add more power and momentum with the kick, yeah? So my front leg this time pushing off the back, front leg steps across the midline as boom. The back leg is here, the hip comes and coming up and over, not skimming up the way off of them, yeah? So if I step, come back. Again, I can go low step, low kick, come back to the head, step, come back, yeah? And again, you use it very, very common in Muay Thai. You see that, with a little step, back, step, kick, boom. Or if you're not going to step at all, just from the pipe, without telegraphing it as much, yeah? So, we look at our inside switch kick now. So, two ways I can do that. I can step, kick, yeah? Land at the same part of the leg, or I can just swap my feet. So that's the switch, like that. The back, the switch, kick, switch, kick, switch, kick. And again, try your best to not land with your foot. Because again, you kick someone's knee, elbow, even their head, with your foot, you can break it quite easily. So again, always try to land the shin bone, the back of the leg, yeah? So again, in my fight stance, swap the feet, switch. You can see my back leg is now my front leg, toes pointing in the direction I'm kicking, and I turn the hip into the shot. Back out in your stance every single time, alright? And again, as you get a bit more advanced, then you start setting these up with feints, movement. You can do them counter striking. And you try to create little angles. Oftentimes, like if somebody's checking the kick, I don't want to connect. Obviously, I don't want to bust my shin off my foot off their shin bone if they go to check it. So you come out, you can start a little faking, like a little tweak of the hip, see if they are going to check it. If Sean starts to check, if I see he is going to check this kick to the outside, he starts turning the knee out, that might open up the inside of his leg. So you can start using your reading how your opponent's reacting to your movement. So if I fake here, he's checking, I can come back inside. And vice versa. If I fake the inside kick like this, and I can come back to the outside and do the opposite way, yeah? And again, the same thing goes to the knees. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Next, we're going to look at just a quick check in the kick. Yeah. So again, big strong check. You bring your knee up to your elbow, shin bone, and knee pointing slightly out the way. You don't want to come straight up the middle because you can still get caught in the calf on the outside. You want to angle your knee out the way and make sure it's strong when that's meeting the kick. Yeah. So again, if Sean hands up, brings his knee to his elbow, so you can meet the start, we kick, back down. Yeah. So common Muay Thai, again, you don't have to worry about takedowns and stuff. So you see the very light, he throws the kick, you're checking, he can go inside kick, I can go cross check. Or if he goes to the back, I can use my back leg, yeah? A lot more common in MMA, they wouldn't be as a narrow stance, it's a bit more, a bit of a wider base because obviously you're worried if somebody's shooting for a takedown. So a common type of check, when you throw the kick there, back out again, back out, back out. So I'm not coming up as tall, I'm kind of moving back, checking, and then back in all the time. So I'm going to push back, and we're here, yeah? So again, you can do your cross check or your rear check. And again, having your base on the all the time, you don't want to be up too tall, where you get swept, or somebody, especially in MMA or a real self-defense situation, they could potentially take you down. Alright, so we're going to look briefly then, like some other ways then, when they do throw that leg kick, you can, as well as checking, you can try and you can obviously move away. If he throws that inside kick, I like to often switch my stance. You can counter off that as well. If he throws that kick, I can go boom, you know, making a miss as I'm landing something and you're moving away. Let's briefly look at our teeps now. So you have your front teep and your back teep. Your teeps, depending on how you throw them, if you do them like a push, you're going to send your partner across the ring onto their arse. Or else you can do it like a snap, more kind of taekwondo karate style, harder to catch, and it's a lot faster. You're going to catch them in, like, let's say he throws a right hand or something, you're catching them as they're coming in, right, and they go up in the wind, and you can come up underneath their chin as well, and more like you're cracking a whip. So I like to do that one a lot, my back leg, when I stand, I can snap it, boom, the ball of your foot right into the gut, yeah? With my front leg, so I'm doing a front teep, more of a push teep, and again, I can use that to get them away from me, control distance, or just stab the tank and try and win them. So my knee, front knee, facing towards my opponent, hands up. My back foot is flat and sideways, so I'm planted in a grip here. So I'm not coming up onto the ball of my foot like this with a wobbly leg. So make it like an L shape with your hips. Your front knee comes up and I'm stabbing it out, so that hip thrust with the shot. So I get an arm's reach from my opponent, knee comes up, I can stab them away. And again, you can push, step, and follow up with another shot. You can keep follow up with something on the same leg. My back leg, again, keep back in your stance, and then you can follow up with whatever you want off of that again. See, then other things with teeps, you can fake one to land yours. You can do my switch teep. You can do that off either side. Yeah. As far as countering teeps, the partner throws a teep to the body. Anyone, you can catch it. You can counter off it by again pulling them or dragging down with that. You can throw it again. I catch that over under grip, so underneath, over top, or somebody with MMA gloves or normal gloves, boxing gloves, I can lift them up and take them down, pull them across, try and put them off balance. Other ways, I can opposite hand, opposite foot, I can deflect the teep away and I move my hips back so the leg doesn't get caught on my hips. So my hands are just swiveling from the elbow, boom, to guide it to the outside. So give me one teep each side. I come back with a counter. Yeah, if we center again, another one. Back with a counter. So I'm just a little scoop to the outside. Alternatively, without dropping your hand, if I do this one, I'm bringing my hands away from my face. My favourite way, boom, is using the elbows. And this isn't opposite hand, opposite leg anymore. It's the same side. So I'm just using my elbow, boom, across my midsection, turn the hip with it to deflect the kick that's coming towards my midsection away from the body. And again, that's putting you in a nice torque position to go back with a nice counter. So he gives me a teep each side, skim it, boom, back with your counter. Little angle change, he gives me another teep, back with a counter. Another one, back with a counter. So a little, boom, little shimmy with the elbows, alright? Other ways, obviously your footwork will always get you in and out of danger. So whenever he throws any kick, I can always just step and slide out of range, okay? But you're never going to win the fight that way. Common way of countering a head kick in Muay Thai is that it'll step back. So you push off your front leg, back foot does a half step backwards, keeping the lead shoulder in tight to protect your chin, and I'm going to bend my back leg, front leg straightens. Let's do that little lean, a little sway back. Yeah, and letting the head kick skim over your head. So I'm facing Sean, he goes a big roundhouse to the head, then you're back in for the counter. Meagher, he throws the big kick, step and lean, and then you're back in for a quick counter. Alright, another little way you can look at it. If you chose the switch kick or roundhouse to the body, quick couple of ways of catching the kick. Yeah, and again, in real life you can catch it, in MMA you can catch it, and K1 you can catch it and release it to throw a strike. And in Muay Thai you can catch it and sweep them or work off of it, yeah? So, two kind of ways I like to teach catching the kick. I don't just want to grab it, let it kick and then grab it, because then I could be winded or a broken rib and the damage is done by the time I actually have his leg. So if I am going to wrap the leg, I want to make sure I'm stepping away in the direction the kick's coming, yeah? I'm going to. So I'm decreasing the impact power, yeah? And I don't want to be a loose grip, I want to have it nice and high up here in my armpit, so again, just testing the flexibility and making it uncomfortable. So my partner gives me a kick, and I step away here, and I'm low on the ankle, not behind the knee where he could hook his toes under my legs and start defending and keeping his balance, yeah? So I'm low on the ankle, and I want to stand up nice and strong. This hurts the ankle, it's like an ankle lock, yeah? Good posture, and again from here, you're blocking here so you can't hit your that lead hand. Your chin is down behind your shoulder in case those hooks come over the top. And you're getting your elbows, your knees, you can elbow the legs, you can play around, you can go in, you can go for your sweeps. Lots of different options. You give me this kick, same thing, the opposite sides, I step away and we're here. So wrapping the leg around the ankle, I stepped away from the kick to decrease the impact power, and now I'm here, where I can land my shots and counters. Sanchai does this one quite a bit. I prefer this one. So you're keeping your hands up, and I'm just doing this little side crunch between my elbow to my hip and checking the kick here in the fleshy part of my arm. Not this, because shin bone will break your forearms, yeah, with no pads on. So I'm keeping this tight to my head and the side crunch here, catching the kick here, and my other hand just scoops under and hooks the leg here before it falls down. And this works nicely even with boxing gloves on, yeah. And again from here, then I have a load of opportunities. I can bring the leg across and go for a sweep. I can just counter off the catch. You have loads of options. So he gives me another kick, this one, yeah? So I've caught it as the other hand wraps underneath. I can bring it across, nice sweep there. He gives it to me the other side, so I catch it, and the other hand comes underneath. I can bring it across my body, and go for your counter. One more look each side, yeah? So a few nice little options off that. Next, we want to briefly look at your oblique kicks, or we'll say hacking that lead leg, yeah? So I love kind of, every time somebody goes to step into you, if they're really aggressive coming forward, what you can do to slow them down from being so aggressive coming forward is as they close that distance and step onto that front leg boom, is kind of chopping on that knee and hyperextending it, yeah? And it can do a lot of damage and open up other shots if you're linking, obviously, your combos into it. So we look at our back leg first. John Jones, example, who does this very well. I keep my toes pointed out the way and stomping with my heel, yeah? So again, you distract them with your hands to get them to come up and boom, like that. And just hyperextended just above the knee, yeah? So measure that distance, boom, back. When he steps into me, boom. You can also do low on the shin here as well. If you time it right as they're stepping, you can kind of scoop the foot as well, oftentimes you get a sweep out of it. Yeah? So he steps in, boom. On the ankle, he steps in, boom. He can hyperextend the knee. Yeah? Now, my front leg, I'm going to push off my back leg, it comes in, go to this little pendulum step, where back leg comes in, front knee comes up, and now I'm extending out that front leg to the knee. I can also do it to the body or the head. You have the flexibility. So again, you're keeping that distance, you're distracting with the hands, back, measure, back, measure, yeah? So that's your lead leg side kick. If I pivot on the ball of my front foot, I can bring my back leg all the way through, and extend it out, and then it's a back leg side kick, yeah? So again, you might fake like a leg kick here, I can fake, and bring it in. So another little example, a nice way to do it. Other ways of extending the front leg, I'd often use my front teep as well. So you're getting your hand fighting, you're distracted with the hands to go teep here. Again, the ball of your foot just teeping right above the knee to hyperextend the leg and stop them in their tracks. So I can teep, and again you can follow up then, knee, elbow, start add your combos together. Yeah? Next thing we look at, axe kick. So landing with the heel, either down the bridge of the nose, the crown of the head, or on their collarbone. Yeah? Sometimes I use even try and pull their hand down and follow up with another shot. So nice way to land it. I like to fake the inside kick, so it's coming like a question mark. You're kind of coming in here, and you're drawing their attention to the leg kick, making them think that's coming. As I miss, I'm going to come up and down here with my heel. Yeah? So you can do it the same either way. Go lead leg first and faking the inside kick. So I fake, down like that. And the top, again, if he's got his hands up, I can scoop the hand down, try to follow up with something, or just connect on the collarbone on the nose. That back leg, again, faking the outside kick, but I exaggerate, boom. Yeah? So you're going to come over, boom, down. Your front leg, boom, and down. Yeah? There's your axe kick. You can do your front leg or your back leg hook kick. So here in your stance, hook, down, hook, down. So it's a little snap with your heel. Ideally in the temple. Or sometimes I play around and start, you might just boom, you might just give me a little dead leg or something. So it's a fun little shot to play with. But again, I might fake an inside kick, you're trying to snap and you get a good little hooking the heel into the side of the head. Then we have a quick look now, our spinning back kick and our wheel kick. So our spinning back kick, boom, I'm coming straight back like a horse kick. And the wheel kick, I'm coming out wide, like that. So in your stance, out wide. So if I'm facing Sean, I like to disguise it off a hook. You might make him lift our hands up. So if I fake the hook, but I'm missing it, and this momentum of the hook, the weight is helping me spin faster. I don't want to lean, so I rotate on the axis with my head over my shoulders, over my hips, yeah? I'm not leaning off balance. So as I rotate, you see my front foot here, I turn on the ball of my foot, my knee comes in, my hip comes in. As I rotate, my hands are up in case I turn into a counter. And I'm looking over my right shoulder here, and I can spot the target out the corner of my right eye here. Now, for a spinning back kick, I'm linear, it's a straight line, from the shortest route from my heel to the target. I'm going to push off this leg and go straight back, transferring your weight through the target. So then I might throw a hook as I rotate, boom, back down, yeah? So there's a spinning back kick. One last time, back, down. Spinning wheel kick is your heel coming around sideways to the head. And again, I can throw it, I put my hand on the floor as well. You know, capoeira style, you can play around with it. But this one, you're getting, there's loads of ways of setting it up. And the simplest way, just kind of making you using your jab and your hook. You fake the hook, I rotate. As I rotate the same way as the back kick, spot my target so I'm not kicking blind. This time, my back leg goes wide, boom, with the heel around wide, yeah? So I swing, boom, yeah? Another nice kick you can add into your arsenal. Quick look at a couple of fundamental knees now. Front knee first, yeah? If I have somebody that just rushes straight in on you, I'm trying to keep this knee right in front of me. It's a frame going down the middle between me and my opponent. And I have my balance, so when they step into me, I have a nice tight guard so I don't walk onto a shot. I'm going to push hard off that back leg, and meet them as they step onto the knee. Yeah, that adds the two cars colliding. It adds a lot more power to the shot. And I'm in that hip thrust. Yeah, you're driving your hips into the shot. So my partner steps into me, one more, one more. So I can keep my guard tight, or I can clinch. Blocking again their shot. And you get that good thrust to the hip. Yeah, as they come in. Another way, this back leg, he's in the stance. I can fake it like a kick or just step if you have your timing. Where this foot steps to the outside here. And now it makes my left knee, which is what is in the front position now. When I step, now it's back here, which gives me more of a wind up which adds more power to the kick. And again, I'm trying to come linear up the middle, rather than out wide here, losing power, yeah? And again, good thrust. I don't want to be on this where I like knee myself in the face. I'm trying to drive the hips forward into the shot. And again, keeping your hands up, or else you can clinch, yeah? So quick look at that knee again. The back leg is going to step, and then knee with that front leg. Now we can do like a switch knee, where I fake the back one, and this is giving me lift, upward momentum, where I'm going to jump and then scissors your legs and land that front knee, again, body or head. So a little switch, like that. Yeah, fake the right, land the left. So a little switch. Boom, okay? Quick look at the back knee. They step in on me, again, right up the middle. Again, not this. I'm thrusting the hip out into the shot. He steps in, knee up the middle. I can do a jump and bump. So I jump, timing it obviously. I scissors the legs, landing my front knee, and I'm back in my stance. So jump, knee, bump. Yeah? He steps in, and we're back down. Yeah? Same, another switch knee. This time we're faking the left, the front leg, landing with the back leg. So I fake the front leg, and that's giving me the lift that I want. Scissors my legs. So a little fake, again, measure, measure, little fake switch. And then we're back down in your stance again. Yeah? And that's what I did briefly before we finish. I suppose one other way I like to, one or two other quick ways to land that leg kick as well. I suppose if I'm doing it where he isn't coming forward to start, so I'm facing Sean, I don't want to kick his knee or his shin bone if he's going to check it. So I like this one a lot, where again you use your hands to distract him, block his vision, get him thinking up here. I want to push off my front leg and step off center here. Yeah? So I'm distracted with boom. Yeah, I'm coming to off the middle line here, and I'm catching myself with my back leg, my right leg here, as soon as I transfer my weight across. So I'm going to push off the left leg, boom, I'm gone off center so I don't get either counter down the middle. As soon as I catch myself here, I'm pushing off that right leg and coming back in straight away onto that leg, yeah? So I'm just getting that little outside angle on him so I'm avoiding his shin. So I'm here, I'm doing this step, and you're back in for the kick, you can double it up, yeah? Another way is if I step left, he steps to his right, or yeah, I step this way, you might step as well. He's always trying to keep his alignment with me. So if I step my back leg across and he steps, step the left leg first, left right, boom, boom, yeah? As soon as he goes to step and lands, that's when I'm looking to chop the leg, because that's when it's going to be hard for him to be able to check it or move away, yeah? So again, you're watching his feet, I'm learning this way, then I'm stepping this way, yeah, so watch, as soon as he steps, I can step here, I step, yeah, and chopping as soon as he steps onto that foot. Another nice way I like to sting that leg kick is when they step in for a jab. Again, anytime you ever do a sparring session, someone's going to try and jab you. It's the most common shot thrown, and everything works off the jab. So I'm going to use my back hand, boom, to just back the jab down, yeah, just guiding it away from my face. And my back leg is going to turn over to chop their front leg as they step in. But I want to keep that distance between us. So as he comes in, I need to go back to maintain that space. So I push off my front leg and it comes back behind me, yeah? As that back leg chops over, yeah? So I'm keeping that distance. He steps in with the jab, I catch, boom, and kick. So I'm facing Sean. He steps in the jab, again, he steps in the jab, slow motion. So as he comes in, I'm going to back down here. He stepped in, so my front leg goes back behind me, and my back leg comes over, back in that stance. I do that twice more, back, and we're back, yeah? So, again, let's chop the leg. When they step into jab, it's and my front leg is pushing off my front leg, and when you see my left leg is coming all the way back here to turn over that lead leg, catch them as they step in to try and hip check. Then, again, as you get better, then you start combining them with your shots into your combinations. You know, you're faking your legs and your kicks to land your hands to set up your kicks. and so on. So hopefully again, brief overview. That's not all the kicks that there is, but it's a chunk of them. And again, hopefully give you something to play around with at home during the lockdown, and keep sharpening the skills. Us.